So today we have another great story of social justice overreach in the army, but luckily we have a good ending as you probably could have guessed from the title. Um, for those of you that don't know, I'm kind of skipping the story. Let's read the headline first and then we'll go over it. Navy SEALs will change their official ethos to be gender neutral, meaning they would remove gender specific words like brotherhood and men. Now, the army, the combative roles are mostly filled with men, obviously, because they're more combat ready, they're more combat efficient, and they're built better on average to be better soldiers. Okay, I remember there was a big hoopla back in the early 2010s, maybe 2012 or 2014, um, where a lot of the female Marines couldn't actually pass the fitness test because they had to do 3 pull-ups, which is the minimum for them and the minimum for men. Okay, 45% of female Marines failed to do 3 pull-ups. So in order to pass that fitness test, you actually they let them get by if they hang on the bar for 15 seconds, which is completely bullshit. It's probably one of the easiest thing you can do. It doesn't prove any sort of strength at all. Maybe a little bit of endurance, and even that 15 seconds is not a lot. A beginner could do it pretty easily even if he's not that fit. Um, Not only that, but in order for a woman to get the perfect score uh, in the marine fitness test, they only have to do 8 pull-ups, while the men have to do 20 pull-ups, which seems fair if you put it as a standard for their own competitions. But this is not a competition. This is the army. It's all about meritocracy. It's all about how effective you are as a soldier, because lives are at risk here. Okay, not in the day to day. Obviously, a lot of soldiers don't actually see combat, and obviously there are not non-combative roles which a lot of women can fill even if they don't pass the fitness test, and a lot of men do as well. But the Navy SEALs has probably one of the most rigorous fitness requirement and training programs. Now, I don't know how many female Navy SEALs there actually are. I'm not talking about in the general unit like uh, somebody who's in communications or doing some other non-combative work in the unit, but I'm talking about actually active soldiers going into operations. I don't think there are a lot of female Navy SEALs. Probably none, if I had to bet anything on it. And if there are, they have lowered the standards quite a lot, probably because, like I said, it's not only about endurance. You have to be very very fit to be a Navy SEAL, and I can go off on a tangent on the SAS as well, which had to lower their standards as well to actually accept female candidates who wanted to pass the SAS test. But let's keep talking about this story, okay? So it seems weird to me that they would go the gender neutral route when you have a unit that is mostly, okay, not the unit, the actual active soldiers who go into operations. I'd bet at least 90% of them are men, which makes sense, and it would be more efficient to use male or gender specific language. This is a really really stupid change to make. Probably doesn't practically affect anything at all. It's just a pain in the ass. It's stupid, and luckily for us, Trump said he would overturn it. So as you can see on Twitter, Trump responded within 1 hour. No, a few minutes actually from this tweet. This tweet is 1 hour ago, and Trump's tweet is barely an hour ago. And he said he will be overturning this ridiculous order immediately. And I honestly want to applaud Trump, because this last year, this year of the election, which obviously because he's going into re-election, it probably encouraged him to do more. But Trump has done a lot in 2020 in terms of being a president. He got 2 huge peace deals. He got made an executive order against the absolute poison that is critical race theory, which not only is filled with lies and and it's educating people to hate their own country, and to it's further nurturing white guilt. Um, it's costing you your taxpayers money, so I'm gonna mute my phone. I completely forgot it before recording the video. Totally unprofessional, but that's why I'm on YouTube and not on TV, or maybe because I'm not a shill. Anyway, I almost lost my point. Yeah, Trump in his first 3 years has done a lot of what he promised. He started to build the wall. He actually moved the U.S. embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, which a lot of presidents talked about but never pulled the trigger. He let Israel annex a few disputed territories that the U.S. never backed them, especially because they won them in wars waged against Israel. But I don't want to make it into an Israeli propaganda channel. And he also was, I think, one of the maybe the only president of, or definitely the only president in the last few decades to actually go to North Korea and engage in diplomacy with Kim Jong Un. Um, and he did a lot in his first 3 years. Honestly, was a very effective president, at least for the issues that I care about, and and I think in terms of what his voters expected for him, obviously he didn't do everything he should have or promised, but he did a lot. And in this last year, he's doing even more than that. And like I said, I want to applaud him for that. This ridiculous social justice activism has infiltrated to everything, okay? As a gamer, I see it everywhere in gaming. Everywhere. Every game that comes out right now has to have diverse characters, which is not inherently bad, but sometimes they choose diversity over a believable storyline, or rather an enjoyable storyline, or an effective narrative, and they throw away everything else to push diversity. One great example is the World War II Call of Duty game, which was I think 3 years ago. I actually played it, but I think it came out in 2016. You could have played as a black female soldier. Now, mind you, I'm pretty sure I would bet my don't want to say it on YouTube because I want to stay monetized. So I would say it's something that's safe for work. I would bet my house on the fact that there were zero female soldiers on the battlefield of World War II, let alone active fighting soldiers. Okay, not militia or partisans they call them, not militia, not guerrilla warriors. There were zero black female soldier in the Germanic army as well, which you could have played. You could have played as a black female soldier in the multiplayer section of Call of Duty, which admittedly doesn't need to be as immersive, but there was 100%, there was never a black female soldier in the German army, in the Wehrmacht, I think is the name of the army, back in World War II. And I would bet my entire net worth, which is not a lot, on it. I would bet my house on it easily. And it's not only in gaming, it's in comics, it's in every show you see on TV, every single female reboot that they make, which is so awful because they always go to the stereotype that a strong female character is just needs to be obnoxious and to display all the qualities that they would call toxic masculinity if a man would engage in any of this behavior. So I'm glad to see Trump pushing back, and hopefully in the next 4 years he won't abandon his promises regarding pushing this social justice crap out of the governmental system. It's pretty sick that this thing actually happens even in the private sector, which everyone is free to engage with. But to have the taxpayers' money, your money, paying for this critical grievance theory, where people just go up to companies and shake them down for ridiculous amount of speaking fees just so they can virtue signal to the woke crowd. Uh, Anita Sarkeesian, which thankfully is now completely irrelevant, has made an entire career on it, and to the eyes of many, she's one of the reasons why The Last of Us 2 was ruined, because she was so close with Neil Druckmann, who wrote and directed a lot of the content in the game. So anyway, before I go off on another gaming tangent, the Navy SEALs are going gender neutral, and Trump said nope. Great news. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. I wasn't going to make a video about this topic because it's very slim. There wasn't a lot to talk about other than the obvious headline, but Trump put his twist on it when he said he's not going to accept it, which is great, and I had to make a video on it because we got some not karmic justice, but it gives you, this video gives you a good catharsis feeling. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.